It is me, Chelsea. It is just past 6:30 in the morning on a Thursday here in cloudy, rainy Kansas. So I've got my coffee and I've got my morning face on, and I am coming at you live and in action because I wanted to film tonight. Well, actually, I wanted to film last night, but my webcam and my computer decided to be butt faces and not talk to each other. And so I'm up this morning because I work late tonight, so filming tonight wasn't an option, but I've got great books that I want to talk about, so I figured I would probably just go ahead and get up early and talk about them. First things first, in a slightly non-book related thing that is happening, I wanted to say a huge congratulations to Heather over at Bookables for her recent announcement. She made an announcement yesterday. She did a vlog that she's pregnant and she's about 5 months along, and that is just so awesome. I'm so happy for her, and she looks so happy. And I know she said in her video that she just didn't want everything to be all about that, but just from me to her, I just wanted to say huge congratulations because that's awesome and that's super, super great. And she just looks so happy. So good for you, Heather. That's way awesome. And her link will be down below, as well all of the linky type things that I'm talking about today. How about we get on to the books? Because this is technically the, I guess, first part, or at least the potential first installment of my May book haul. So what did I get? I got some great stuff. First up, for the books that aren't, I guess, technically real books, got ye old trusty Kindle right here. And yesterday there was a huge sale on some great titles that I found. Thank you, Twitter, and the people who told me about it on Twitter, who I don't remember. I'm so sorry. But I got Pushing the Limits by Kate McGarry, Shifting by Bethany Wiggins, and Conjured by Sarah Beth Durst yesterday. Those are the YA titles I got. They all look phenomenal. I don't know much about them. I know Conjured is about witches, I'm assuming. I don't actually know that for a fact. Shifting is cool because from what I read in the description on Amazon, it is about Native American legends of skinwalkers and people who can shift into animals, and it has something to do with that, and that, I mean, it's ringing all my bells. And Pushing the Limits, I've heard a bunch about Kate McGarry, and I've seen these covers before, and I don't know what they're about, but everybody keeps telling me that I shouldn't judge a book by its cover because the covers are bad, but the books are good. So I figured it was like 99 cents. Why not? Why not go for it? This would be the time. And I also got two, I guess, adult books. One of them is an adult book. The other one's like a self-help book. One of them is An Untamed State by Roxane Gay, which looks amazing. It is a debut novel about a woman who is taken captive. I believe she's the daughter of like a political bigwig or like a CEO or something, and she gets taken and held captive for ransom, and her father is refusing to pay the ransom just on principle. He will not negotiate with kidnappers, and so he will not pay, and it's all about what happens to his daughter during the time that she is being held kidnapped by the kind of people who do horrible things to women when they kidnap them. And it's all just about whether or not her father's, what's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen, and it sounds great, and it sounds amazing, and the writing's supposed to be phenomenal, so I'm super excited. And then lastly, I got a book called The Fit Bottom Girls Anti-Diet. The Fit Bottom Girls is a website community that's all about celebrating health as defined by quality of life, not size of your pants. And so they finally put out a book that's got a bunch of like 10-minute fixes for improving the way you eat and how often you move in a day and the way you sleep and just a whole bunch of stuff like that. And I've read all the diet books that are out there. I get it. I get it. But I love the Fit Bottom Girls, and I love what they do and the way that they write, and they have really great voice when they're talking about some of these issues that have kind of been done to death. So I'm really enjoying it. You know, I'm picking it up and kind of flipping through it on Kindle whenever I get an extra couple minutes, and so far it's just been really, you know, kind of enlightening. I'm learning some things I may not have thought of before, and it's just, you know, it's working out for me so far. Now on to the physical books, because that's what I'm super excited to show you. But first, a drink of coffee. Man, that's so good. Okay, I have 10 books to share with you guys. And let's see. Here are some of them because a couple fell off the top of the pile. Here are the rest of them. Oh, can you even see all that? I'm not even sure if I can get all that on camera. But there they are. Let's talk. So continuing on with the adult books that I bought The Interestings by Meg Wolitzer. And Rebecca Shinsky at Book Riot talks about this book very, very frequently, and she raves about it. And I saw it out in hardback, and I picked it up, and I flipped through a couple pages, and I was like, meh, I don't know if this is like a $30 book. But when it came out in paper book, I was like, this is most definitely a $20 book. And it is about a group of 6 teenagers who meet at a summer camp, and they nickname themselves the Interestings because they all think they're super interesting. And it's an arts camp, so some of them are painters and writers or actors and what have you. And the book is just all about how they grow up, and some of them find success in their art form, some of them don't and find regret, and some of them have to just move on completely. And it's just supposed to be really good. And I love books about camp. I love books about camp, especially summer camp, and especially for the arts. I went to an art summer camp for a couple summers, so there's a little bit of that going on, and I'm just really, really excited to get in there and check it out. It's a nice, chunkster. The pages are pretty thin. It's got a good plot to it, so I'm excited. All signs point to a good book. Also, an adult book that I bought this month was Gulp by Mary Roach. If you are in need of nonfiction that is not like a textbook, Mary Roach is your girl. She's got your back. Gulp is, when she talks about it as everything, she being Mary Roach, talks about it as everything that happens from your mouth to your butthole. So this is about your alimentary canal. It's about how you eat and how your body processes food and what your body does with food. And it's just, questions on the back include, why is it so hard to find names for flavors? Why is country food so appealing? How much can you eat before your stomach bursts? Can constipation kill you? So there you go. The riveting hard, I'm not sure which hand I'm holding this book in. Riveting hard questions for you right there, answered by Mary Roach. It's gonna be hilarious. This woman writes some of the best footnotes I've ever read. Check it out. And I believe now we are officially on to the delicious YA that I bought this month. The first one was, or is, ta-da! Patrick Ness, The Knife of Never Letting Go, the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. And this, look at this cover. It is just, that's so creepy. It's like, I don't know, looks like blood or it got sliced in or something. This book is basically about a town where everybody can hear everybody's thoughts until one day a young man finds a place, I guess in the woods? Let's see. It just says an area in town where they can't hear each other's thoughts anymore. Everything is silent. It's finally restful. And what does that mean? What does that mean for the boy who finds it? What does that mean for this town? This is a town where, privacy is supposed to be impossible, and it's a big deal, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad stuff. Apparently he's being hunted by a killer. The boy's name is Todd with 2 D's. And the tagline is, how do you run from a killer when you can hear your every thought? So there you go. Patrick Ness. Love Patrick Ness. Never gotten into these ones. Hoping to pick up the next 2 in another haul coming up soon. Sorry. See? This is what happens early in the morning. Unedited, folks. This is it. Alright, next up. This is actually a book that was on sale at my library for the book sale, and it didn't sell, and it was going to get tossed, and that made me really sad. Sad trombone. So I took it home because I think it sounds great. It's called After by Amy Ifa, and it is about a girl who is a perfect straight A student, and she's that #1 high school lady, student council president, everything, until she maybe does or does not throw her unwanted baby in a trash can. There you go. It's part mystery, courtroom drama. It's going to be an issues novel with a capital I, and sometimes I just cannot wait to break into that. So I hope the writing is as good as the plot lives up to. I've never read anything by Amy Ifa before, and I really just picked up this book to save it from the trash can. So hopefully it was worth the save. goodness, people. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. The next book I picked up is Landry Park by Bethany Hagen, and there's actually a very special reason why I picked up this book. Not only because it sounds amazing and it's dystopian and it's set in Kansas City, which is where I'm from, but this girl right here, Bethany Hagen, I don't know how well you can see that. We actually went to high school together. We went to a high school where they had something called the Distinguished Scholars Program, which was like an extra class where you could devote to the discipline of your choice. They had one for math, one for science, one for language, one for English, one for art, and I took the English one, meaning I had my regular English class, and then every day I went to another, basically second English class where I got more freedom in the books I picked and in my projects, and it was just all about English and language arts. And Bethany was also in that class. She was a senior when I was a sophomore, so she's a couple years older than me, and she's amazing. She's a beautiful lady. She was funny. She is funny. I'm so proud of her, and just, it's so cool to see a homegrown finally get their name out there. Every time I see another booktuber with this book on their shelves, I let out a little squee because it's so awesome. I'm so excited to read this book. Here's what the back says. "We are like you and I," he said, but then he'd flung spoken like a true Landry at me, like an insult, like a knife. And with the eyes of the city boring into my back, I left the ballroom, forcing myself to walk as slowly as dignity would allow. So there's clearly some potential sexual tension going on there. There's a ballroom. I mean, just look at this cover. Look at this cover. Yes, I'm very excited to read this book. The next up is a book I have a little bit of shame that I have never read because I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind the series, you guys. In all of the series, not just this series, but in general. But I'm getting there. I'm making a resolute effort to catch up. The book is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And obviously, you guys know what this book is about. Cinderella, cyborg. If you hadn't already heard about it, I mean, robot leg right here, guys. But it's supposed to be phenomenal. The second one, Scarlet and Cress, which are the second and third ones, are supposed to be just as good, if not better. And in the past, believe it or not, I've actually not had a super great amount of luck with fairy tale retellings. I'm hoping this works out better because I love Cinderella. I want to get into this universe. And I've never really read a cyborg novel either. So I think this will be a good chance to knock off two birds with one stone. These actually all are on my TBR list for Bout of Books 10.0, which is starting on Monday. As you can see, I'm kind of continuing on with this a year-a-thon theme of series that you've been missing out on or need to catch up on. There's one book I was hoping would be here for my haul that I could show you guys, and it's not here. And it's Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, which is the next book in the Days of Blood and Starlight series. And it's not here yet. I ordered it from Amazon, and all these other books are here, but that one's not. So I'll show it to you guys eventually, maybe when I do my next haul or when I do my wrap-up for Bout of Books. But it's not here yet. I do have it. It is coming. Amazon is a poop face. Back to the books I do have, and the Amazon was good enough to bring me on time. The next one is a book I've already read, but I'm going to reread it because who doesn't need to reread this book? And it's Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This book is so adorable. It is just amazing, and I know everybody hates on this cover. I like this cover. I think this cover is adorable. I mean, it's cutesy, and yes, it's romantic, and it just screams, I'm a book for a teenage girl. But guess what, guys? This is a book for a teenage girl. Not that boys can't like it too, but let's just be real for a second. It's so amazing. Everything from the fake, like, Nicholas Sparks-esque dad to Etienne St. Clair and being in Paris, and I just, mwah, yes, I kiss the book. I kiss the book every time. It's amazing. It's fantastic. 3 cheers for Anna and the French Kiss. I'm so excited to reread it as soon as I finish up with A Shadow of Night, which is what I'm reading right now. The next book is another first in the series, and it is dun dun dun, The Monstromologist by Rick Yancey. I just think the sound of these books is phenomenal. I mean, not only is that cover like creepy and wonderful and gives me very good clues about the tone of the book, this series in general just sounds amazing. It is formatted in journals of a man named Will Henry, who's the orphaned assistant to Dr. Pellinor Warthop. I mean, Dr. Pellinor Warthop, what a good name. And obviously I'm assuming there are going to be monsters involved and some kind of study of monsters. I'm going into the series a little blind, and I kind of like it that way because I don't really know much other than Rick Yancey is the bomb, so I've been told, and these books are creepy and a little scary and kind of sci-fi-y, and just, they're going to be amazing. So there's that one. And we're on to my last two, guys. I can't believe this haul is going much quicker than I actually thought it would. Although to you guys, it's probably way too long already. Side note, we can talk about it. I collect coffee mugs. It's like a thing about me. This is one of my favorites. Not because it's particularly, like, awesome. I don't know. It says coffee around it in, like a dozen different languages. But this mug has, like, the perfect handle size and is just the right face roundness to take, like, a sip that's not too big. Any of you guys who are, like, coffee drinkers or tea drinkers will know these are the little things that matter about the cups we use. Anyway, the last two books are the second two books in a series that I've already read the first one for, and I ordered the first one, and it's not here yet because I waited until after I ordered these two. I was reading the first one from the library at the time, and I knew that I would want to have the sequels, but I wanted to finish the library copy before I ordered the first one because, I don't know, I'm dumb. So it's coming, and the first book of these two I'm going to show you is the second book in the series, and it is A Million Suns by Beth Revis, and it is in the beautiful, beautiful, I think these are the first covers, because I'm pretty sure the reissues are the ones I'm about to show you. I could be wrong on that. But just, I mean, just, these covers, something about the stars and the hatch and the man and the woman, and it's just, I love this cover, and I'm so excited to see what happens in this book. It is a sequel to, okay, apparently I don't have the first one still. I must have taken it back, unless it's sitting right behind me. Oh, here it is. It is sitting right behind me, haha. It is the sequel to this book that I just talked about in my last wrap-up video, Across the Universe, which, you know, these are about a girl named Amy and a boy named Elder, and in this book, Amy wakes up in a spaceship that she's not supposed to wake up in. She's frozen. She's supposed to stay frozen for another 50 years, but she doesn't. And in this book, we find out what happens now that all the shit has gone down in the first book. They've kind of taken back control of the spaceship, and they're about to get some really bad news. I got a little bit of a spoiler on what the bad news was, but that's okay because I'm so excited to see what happens between Amy and Elder and just this whole ship. I think that the world that Beth Revis created inside the spaceship Godspeed is just, it's just amazing, folks. It's just so good. I know, you know, it's still a spaceship, and so the world building can be somewhat confined to those parameters, but still, it's amazing. And usually in books like this, I can kind of guess what's going to happen, but the first one left me totally guessing and just, like, ripping through pages like there was no tomorrow. So I'm hoping the second one does the same. I have every faith that it'll do the same. And when I'm done with that one, I have, you probably already figured it out, Shades of Earth, which is the bound up, I guess, like, novellas, I think. I think so. Maybe this is just a full-on book. I thought it was novellas. I thought it was a novella bind-up. But maybe that's the last... I know that that's the last book in the Throne of Glass series, so maybe that's what I was thinking of. But anyway, Shades of Earth by Beth Revis is the last book in the Across the Universe trilogy. And it is what happens once the spaceship Godspeed, I guess, has finally reached its destination. Or has it? Maybe they're at a new destination. I don't know, because I haven't read the second one yet. If you do know, don't you dare spoil it for me. But as you can see, this is what I was talking about with the covers. This is the last book in this, like, new cover reissue. And I don't know if they ever put the last book out in the older covers, but I like the older covers way more. I mean, this is fine, and I get it, especially because apparently they're now on Earth, or some kind of Earth-like planet, I'm guessing, based on, like, the plants and the look. But I don't actually know. And maybe if I'd had the first two books in this cover art, it'd be one thing, but now they don't match, and you guys are book people. you know how much that's like a thing that bothers book people? They don't match. So I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of the book. Huge fan of waiting to read the book. Not a huge fan of the cover. So if I get some spare money between now and in the future, I might see if I can track down either the matching first two or maybe the third one in the next cover. I don't know. That was a lot of talking about cover art. I am sorry for that. But that's all the books I have for you. That's my haul so far for the month of May. I'll also make this my official TBR announcement for the Bout of Books 10, and I'll put all the Bout of Books info below. That starts Monday. I'm hoping to get through as many of these books as I can. If the Last Days of Blood and Starlight book actually gets here, Dreams of Gods and Monsters, I will put that at the very top of the list because I am literally dying. Well, not literally. I am metaphorically dying to get my hands on that book and to finish up that trilogy. So hopefully that one comes. If not, clearly I've got more than enough to keep me satisfied. Hope you guys are all having a beautiful morning. Hello, booktubers around the world. I'm going to go finish my coffee and say hello to the puppy and see you guys around the interwebs later this afternoon. As always, comment, follow, subscribe, all the social medias down below, and cheers, you guys. Everybody have a happy Thursday.